Greetings, beloved. It's Pastor Mark for another Lent Day Devotional. Welcome back. So glad to have you. We're going to be in the Psalms again today, Psalm 29. So you can grab your Bibles and find Psalm 29. This is a short psalm, but I think it's so beautiful, and especially for us here in Patrick County. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. But how many times do you and I, we get in our car and we drive somewhere and we're on the way to Walmart or we're on the way to church, whatever it is, and how many times we do not see the creation around us, how beautiful it is? And if we do see it, how many times do we stop and give God the glory for making such a beautiful creation? I told you I grew up in the inner city of Baltimore, where at night we lived close to Memorial Stadium where the Orioles and the Colts played, or as we say the old days, the O's and the Coats played, and the lights lit up our entire backyard. You didn't see a lot of stars, and when I've come to the country, it's amazing how much of God's creation you can see at night. But well, King David, it looks like in the text that he is watching a thunderstorm, a really bad thunderstorm, and it's coming off of the Mediterranean Sea. It's coming over the water, and it's coming onto the land, and it's throwing thunder and lightning, and it's breaking trees and tearing across some of the ground, and instead of just going, oh look, a thunderstorm, he's stopping to worship God because of it. And I encourage all of us, as we live in this beautiful place that we do here, to take the time to stop and see God's handiwork all around us and give him the glory that he deserves. So go ahead, let's look at the psalm together, guys. It's Psalm 29, and we're going to pick up in the first two verses are very much about David giving God just glory in general for who he is, and then he goes into this set of phrases here. I'm fighting the wind, excuse me, from verses 3 through 9, when he's just focused on the storm and how it glorifies Yahweh. And then finally he hits with the application, kind of the now what, which is because of who God is, we should always give him glory. Look at verses 1 and 2. It says, ascribe to Yahweh, O sons of the mighty. Ascribe to Yahweh glory and strength. Ascribe to Yahweh the glory of his name. Worship Yahweh in the splendor of his holiness. So again, it's just remember who God is. Give God the glory. Worship him. He's worthy of this. And then look at verse 3. And you can, if you can, picture a thunderstorm rolling in. I saw one come in last night. It wasn't a really bad storm, but watching the clouds come down, it was just very beautiful to watch. Listen to him. He says, the voice of Yahweh is upon the waters. The God of glory thunders. Yahweh is over many waters. The voice of Yahweh is powerful. The voice of Yahweh is full of splendor. The voice of Yahweh breaks the cedars. You can imagine trees being snapped by the heavy winds of the storm. Indeed, he says in verse 5, Yahweh breaks in pieces the cedars of Lebanon. He makes Lebanon skip like a calf, and Syrian like a young wild ox. So you can picture the entire area is just stirred up by this tremendous storm, and David sees the power of God in it. Verse 7, the voice of Yahweh hews out flames of fire. The voice of Yahweh causes the wilderness to tremble. Yahweh causes the wilderness of Kadesh to tremble. The voice of Yahweh makes the deer to calve and strips the forest bare, and in his temple everything says glory. So this is a bad storm. It's even causing fear in the animals, and they're having their calves early. But in the end, this storm, it screams the glory of God. Look how it ends here in verses 10 and 11. Yahweh sat enthroned over the flood. Indeed, Yahweh sits as king forever. Yahweh will give strength to his people. Yahweh will bless his people with peace. You see, beloved, what creation teaches us is not just that God is a great creator, and he's powerful and he's majestic and he has organization and form. It means that you and I can take comfort that the creator of the universe, who sat over the flood, who has the power over all of creation, just like Jesus when he's incarnate on the earth, we can rest. He has more than enough strength in reserve for you and for me, and whatever problems we're dealing with. So I know, again, that it's a difficult time for many of us, but to know that God is in charge, that whether it's our health, or it's our jobs, or it's our family, God is on the job, and he is sufficient. So again, this Easter, guys, turn your eyes toward Jesus, as we sang yesterday. Know that he is your Lord, and prepare your hearts for the good news of the empty tomb of that first Easter Sunday. See you all tomorrow for another Lent devotional. You take care and God bless. Bye-bye.